Hey, guess what, Pete?
What it do, baby?
It's Thursday, man.
Yes, sir.
And we back with another show for y'all.
You know it.
It's your boy Scribble, man. It's my partner Clinton, man. And we back with another episode of Elephant Room Podcast, man. And appreciate y'all for being here. One, Pete.
Yeah.
Straight up.
Yes, indeed, man. Another week, another show, and we here.
Yeah, straight up, man. It's the Elephant Room Podcast, and we try to set a precedent and set a name for ourselves for being those that are willing to take a stab at these hard topics.
Yeah.
And understanding the climate of present day U.S. There's a big uproar and energy surrounding a particular individual. Mm-hmm. That individual being Donald Trump, our former president. He's recently announced his interest and commitment to running for the 2024 presidency vacancy. Uh-huh. So I figured that'd be a good topic for us to actually kind of dive into, provide some feedback and opinions on what we feel is righteous, what we feel is warranted, considering all of the other stigmas and climates revolving this individual as well.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Man, I've kind of fallen out of politics. I was into politics maybe a year or so ago, or even maybe, when Obama and Trump, I've kind of fallen out of it since the Biden administration. So I've been on some other stuff. I hadn't really been into politics. However, I could definitely ricochet off of what you think about this whole nuance.
It's a real touchy situation, to be completely honest with you. I'm always an individual that is looking for the best qualified candidate, and if and when you were to bring a candidate of so much controversy to the table and ask me to vote in his or her favor, it would be hard for me to do so. I'm a individual that operates under the precedent of owning up to what you have or have not done. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? If you've done it, own up to it. If you haven't, don't vouch for it.
Right.
And again, Donald Trump being an individual of high controversy, me seeing firsthand some of the situations that he has continued to put himself in, nothing but controversy, it would be hard for me even to entertain the idea of him running as a president, let alone being under the legal ramifications that he's facing as well. It would be hard for me to do that. I couldn't do that, not at all.
Right.
When it comes to me identifying an electoral candidate, I'm first going off character.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
If you give off good energy and I can put action to face to name, and you're aligned from a moral sound individual, you got my ear.
Right.
You know what I mean? Now, if you've along your journey, you've done a whole lot of wronging. And try to create an image of master manipulator or the puppet master behind the scenes while not taking credibility for your actions or lack thereof,
right,
I couldn't vote in that favor.
Right.
And seeing that, there's been so much controversy surrounding him, I couldn't even entertain it. I'm more concerned with how is this even possible from a legal standpoint, considering the type of investigations that he's under right now.
That he's up against.
Yeah.
True. I honestly, so I heard some people speaking before, and they were saying, when people run for the president, it's almost like the voters are voting for the worst of the two.
The better of two evils.
The better of two evils.
Yeah.
That's it. The better of the two evils, because it's like they don't like this person. They don't really like that person's policies. However, they'll deal with his policies more than they would deal with that person's policies or whatever it may be, or politic side. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like a uphill battle, right? So it's like, is Biden the right one? You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people might say no.
Right.
Is Trump the right one? And a lot of people might say no.
Right.
And what I have seen that a lot of people like Trump for all of the wrong reasons.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? I have seen that, and so man, I just that's what's kind of turned me off of politics. It's like me having to vote for the best of the two evils, right?
I mean, and that's part of the level of government and society that we have, right?
Uh-huh.
When you utilize the voice and vote of the people, you have to consider the people, right?
Right.
So even though you may be okay with a candidate such as Joe Biden or Donald Trump, there's somebody else that believes in that individual even more than you. And,
True.
you know, you have to be willing to take the better of two evils, knowing that there's not one situation that is wholeheartedly perfect.
Right. So
You know what I mean?
I guess that's politics.
That's life.
Right.
It's beyond politics at that point. It's life.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like we're both two proud parents.
Correct.
Our kids don't act in the favor that we would be ideal for us day in and day out. What we do is we learn to deal with, tolerate, or manage those circumstances better, allowing us to be more familiar and get more comfortable with who that individual is,
Correct.
how they operate, and what their beliefs are. And, you know, fortunately, we have that privilege here to be able to say, you know what, even though I don't agree with 100% of what you're about as an individual, I agree with 85, and that 85 is enough for me to provide you with my support in the form of a vote.
Yeah.
Having been a man of, you know, experience in dating, there's been some individuals that weren't necessarily a 10, that didn't have the optimum personality.
Right.
But overall, they were a 9 and an 8.5. And I was like, you know what? Hey, I can learn to tolerate or deal with these things that I'm not necessarily in favor of from the jump.
Right.
With the intent of being open-minded enough to say, you know what? I'll consider this moving forward, allowing that to either shape, alter my opinion as well.
Yeah.
If not, then, you know, if you hadn't made an impact, then we ain't got to worry about that changing. But giving people the opportunity to take that in consideration is a beautiful thing, I would say.
Right. Let me ask you this. Is it any other candidate besides, I mean, who's the candidate for the Democratic Party?
Currently?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you're looking at Joe Biden's going to be your primary candidate, but here's my thing. Here's my frustration with the entire process.
Right.
They and we need to do a better job bringing exposure to these candidates.
Right.
Because like you, there's plenty of other individuals that aren't motivated based on the pool of talent that's been elected.
Right.
So now I'm going to take the responsibility and put it on ourselves.
Yeah.
If we want to be more stimulated from politics, by politics, understanding the magnitude of them, we got to take it upon ourselves to make the inquiries.
Right.
To put ourselves in the positions, the arenas, the environments, to be more familiar, to know who these candidates are.
Right.
So that we know when it's our time to go, that we've left or made an attempt to leave our kids in a better situation, if not the best situation, because no situation is perfect.
Right. Definitely. I'm definitely not cool with the antics of Trump. I can tell you that. From looking from the outside in, I'm definitely not in favor of those antics, and even the whole thing that happened on with the January 6th.
January 6th, yeah, man.
That, and then you know, a number of things that has, you know, happened because of it. I'm just not a fan of it, man. And like you say, the better of the two evils.
Right.
And I just don't know. Man. Because I'm more of a person that you know, I understand and respect all of that. You know what I'm saying? But I'm one of those people, man. If you're gonna get my vote, if I'm a vouch for you, man, I want it to represent what I represent.
Yeah.
And I would rather not even vote if it's not neither one is going to represent what I represent. You know what I'm saying? And some people might look upon that as like, man, no, you need to go out there and vote. You need to vote Democratic because that's what represents us. But not for me, man. I'm my own individual. I have my own perspective. I have my own point of view.
Right.
And I like to vote for an individual that I feel like in my gut that's going to really have my my best interests. You know what I'm saying? Right. And not for ulterior motive.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? And yeah, it might be some things that Trump does that I might like. He might be a good businessman. He might be good for the economy. Then it may be some things that Biden does that might benefit myself or my people better. Who knows? You know. But you know, I'll do better at looking at those things and trying to make, you know, the best decision. If I'm going to vote, then make sure I vote for
right.
it.
I mean, that's one of the big things. That's the sole thing that I really ask of individuals, be it you choose to express that right or not, is to allow yourself the opportunity to get familiar.
Yeah.
Because it's one thing to be disconnected.
Yeah.
And want to have a voice or feel as though you should have a voice.
Mm-hmm.
It's another thing to be in tune and not be moved or stimulated by either party.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
If you're in tune.
Right.
At the end of the day, you have to make that declaration of whether you not are or whether you are in tune or you're not to justify your participation or not.
Yeah.
What I also ask for people to take into consideration is where we've come from in order to have this right as well.
Right to vote.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Having not had the equal right for a multitude of different backgrounds. If you have that right, really invest in looking to express that right and capitalize on that.
Right.
Be in tune, be invested.
Yeah.
Care enough to understand what's going on.
Right.
And educate yourself on how things actually work.
Right.
So that you can be more familiar and not turned off with the jargon, with the verbiage, and the individuals that are actually representing you and your community.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. Because what we can't allow is foolery, because of our lack of, you know, intentions to, you know, to find out, hey, the best person, the best candidate.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, just because we don't want to go, or we being lazy, or whatever the reason it may be of us not voting. We have to pay attention to that. It is serious out here, and I understand the seriousness of it. And I understand that, hey, we come too far to afford to let an individual come in and come with the foolery, and to set us back.
Right.
We've been
set us back, bro.
We've been setting back. We've been set back too many times, too many years, and we can't allow it.
Yeah,
especially you know when it's blatantly in our face.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I respect that. I understand that. So definitely, man, I would love to get more into it. Like I say, I'm gonna be honest with you, I ain't into it right now. I was turned off by politics, man. Man.
Yeah, it's a roller coaster.
It really is.
And you really gotta have an open mind and thick skin too.
Yeah.
To coexist in the arena, man. But you know, this is the elephant room, and we do our best to try to tackle controversial topics like this.
Yeah.
To try to give our insight as well as be receptive to your feedback as well, man. So we welcome all of that. This wraps up another episode for us.
That's it, man.
We appreciate you. Show love, get love here, please. We welcome your reviews and feedback, and tune in with us next Thursday.
Hey, tune in. Hey, before we check out, man, I definitely, since you just hit on that and how open-minded we are, man, I just want to let individuals know that, man, you own your world, you control your world, man. A lot of things that you bring upon yourself are self-inflicted. You know what I'm saying? You know, if you believe there's devils in your world, then there's going to be devils in your world. However, if you believe that what the word says about I am God and I'm God all alone, then you know there can't be a devil in your world. So trust that, believe that. Peace. Have grease. Somebody. This the elephant room, man. We can do what we do, baby. Let's go. Hey, man.